Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jeff. So in this video, we're gonna check out Jimin's official title track for his solo debut. Really excited. Last week he released, no, the week before that he released his pre-release, and now we have Like Crazy. I was definitely going to film this last week when it came out, but the weekend got super busy. I've also been covering Boys Planet, and it was the elimination, and it was like a 4-hour thing, so it just got a little bit kind of crazy with like I ran out of memory card space. It was like computer was like converting and like exporting, and there's just like a lot going on with like the technical aspect of it. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna wait for the dance practice and then I'll put them together. And I knew it. They released a dance practice the following day. So I'm really glad I waited and I can just put this together. All right, Like Crazy, let's get to it. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Okay, we're gonna do like a first run through and then I'll pause and stuff. Oh my god!
I think we could last forever.
Last forever? Wait, where's my CZ?
Everything will disappear.
Oh my god, it looks so good!
Just trust me.
Whoa, that's super zoom in! Ooh. Oh my god, we're starting that high! Oh, wow, this is like an alto register. There's mud inside. Hey. Ooh, that bass. Kind of nostalgic, right? It looks so good. Hey. Ooh. Hey. I feel like this is like Michael Jackson era. Woo! There's some great ad-libs already. That's a very narrow hallway. Ooh, we're going Stranger Things. What? The lyrics. Hey. Like we're at a club, we're at a disco. That bass though, very 80s, right? Ooh, synthesizer. It's almost like, yeah, retro, but also quite futuristic if you think about it. With that music, like utopian, dystopian, modern Tokyo world type. I don't mind this mullet on him. I don't normally like mullets. There's people kissing on the floor. This line though. Ah. Focus. Damn, the stare. Jimin shit.
Alone again.
Oh, I like that sweater.
What's the point?
What is with the mud though? I'm like vibing to the music. I can't even tell the storyline. Like crazy. Oh my god, what's the storyline? I'm sure there were a lot of like hidden story plots in there. I feel like a lot more people will like that for streaming better. It's an easier listening than Set Me Free. It's very unexpected still. It's like, okay, Jimin, is this the type of song that you've always been wanting? Like this, I feel like this is a new type of sound for him. Like I've been a Jimin fan for a long time, like ever since DNA era. You know, I'm not an OG BTS stan. It's when like BTS started like going to the US. That's when I started to kind of like come in and like him. So for me, it's like this is very, very different. You know, from like Lie to Serendipity to Filter, you know, like it's just a very, very different feel. And it just makes me wonder if it's a type of music that he's always been loving. So, because I feel like with BTS, you know, like they have a different sound than this. You know, like I can't recall any BTS songs that sounds like this. Correct me if I'm wrong, especially for Jimin solos and like Jimin's songs throughout the years, like, you know, from like Lie to Filter. But the thing is, it also is like chapters in his life too. Like, even though it's very, very different from his old songs, I can see it also being like this is a new era for him. You know, it doesn't necessarily, it may not necessarily mean that this is a type of song that he's always been wanting to do and can only do it now. It may also be like, you know, with Lie, he was in that mindset with what he was going through and the message of that song. And then like with Serendipity, like this is a new era for him. Now it's like a new chapter. It's like a new door has opened for him. When I was talking to another artist, when I was interviewing him, he mentioned about like being kind of like in rooms every stage of your title tracks, because you know you're in this space, and then that's the song that reflects your current mood or mindset and music taste. And when you open the door and leave and close the door, that means that chapter has ended, and now I'm in a different mindset. I'm in a different stage in my life. But in theory, with the message of Set Me Free and continuing to the title track, I feel like it might be something like this particular style of like song. I feel like that might be something like a genre that he may have been listening to before, that he likes, and it's something musically, it's what he's wanting to do. So I don't know. I'm sure there's a lot of like theories or like confirmation about the message of the song already. So, but of course, you know, I've been avoiding those because this is a reaction video. So I'll learn more about that later, but those are my theories for this, why he chose this genre and this particular song. There's a lot of bass in this that are very reminiscent to the 80s. I think it's 80s. I wasn't alive there yet, so I don't really know. But from what I can understand, 80s, like, because it reminds me, like that bass reminds me of like the Michael Jackson era. But vocally, oh my God, so high in that register. It's like it's almost like a female voice in the very beginning, right? And then he kind of and then he sustained that. So he's definitely in his alto register, singing the entire thing. And then he would do like these like really cool ad libs like back and forth. All right, okay, the dance practice. I can't wait to see what the dance will look like, because the song doesn't completely go ham. So we'll see. Maybe this is going to be a lot of fluid movements, which I love. Jimin does that so well. So, okay, here we go. I'll do a first run through of this and then the section. Love that guitar though. I would love an acoustic version of this. It's quite stripped back already, but like, be nice too. Ooh. Oh my God, her touching his face. That's beautiful. The lines of the dancers, man. Even just like him going like this is so beautiful. Hey. Oh my God, his lines are so beautiful. Look at the footwork. There's like a stutter there. Intentional. It's like lyrical hip hop. Hey. Let their shoulder work. Nice turn. Hey. Woo! So smooth. This, I feel like, will be such an experience with like stage outfits. That's, yeah, very retro. 80s kind of vibe for even like the dance movements. Beautiful imagery. Hey, hey. Woo! Those hips. breathe. Oh my god! So many beautiful lines. Hey, hey. Partner work. She's so lucky. Oh my gosh, he's just gliding. Hey. Hey. Man, the way he walks, so smooth. Hey. So much control. Oh, that's the killing point. Hey. Definitely one of his easiest choreographies so far. Definitely his easiest choreography because we know what he's capable of. We know that he goes ham with dance practices. Definitely obviously semi-free is a lot more epic scale wise. This is a lot more chill. And it really gives a lot of room for singing live, right? It's not something that you would go like, oh my god, like big reactions. It's definitely on the control in the fluid movements. It's a great indication when a choreography is very, very simple, but then there's a lot happening within the dancer's body. There are a lot of nuances and the lines keep flowing. It never really stops. Oh, before we get to it, hold on. I just want to share that like the very first reason why I got into BTS was the fact that they were dancing on guitar strings for DNA. Because like I think a lot of us started seeing them on the AMAs, right? When they performed DNA. That was the very first moment I was like, damn, who are these guys? Like, oh my god, they're dancing on strings. And that just gives me like such nostalgia vibe because I loved it so much because I haven't really seen anybody dance to like guitar strings. So we're getting a little bit of that here. And I'm just like, oh my god, it's so perfect. Because that was the very first moment I like fell in love with Jimin, and then it's like back to here. Like it's just such a full circle. I love the imagery, like with them just like holding on to him. Such lucky dancers, especially this girl. Oh my god, I can't. Her too, like leaning on his shoulders. Oh my god. But I love the imagery. And then it's so close, and then reaches out, and then like look at the lines. Like look at her. Oh my god. Look at those lines. Jesus, they're so bent, and it's so fitting because Jimin does this too. So it's like. With Jimin, I feel like as much as we like the very hardcore movements, we also really appreciate the beautiful body lines, you know? So yeah, I love his lines. I get with him. It's just so balletic, the way his shoulders and like the way he handles his elbows. That's how you know when someone has like some sort of like technical training. Like, look at those tips of the fingers, right? It's so angelic, the way he is holding them. And then like there, it's so free. It's like, you know, we do a lot of, oh, if you guys don't know, contemporary is like my forte. So we do a lot of those throws and those things. It's directed on like the elbows. That's where it kind of leads. So the reason why a lot of you know, ballet and contemporary, the reason why we lead with our elbows is so that the tips of like the hands are like it's softer. You know, it can move a little bit more graceful, because if you lead with your hands, it's a little bit stiffer. There's pressure and tension there. So that's why you lead with your elbows like this, right? So when Jimin throws like that, it's initiated from the elbows so that the fingers just flies. It just follows. Like that, right? So obvious. And then love the dynamic change there. It's not just him bending down. There's like a hop. It's a bigger dynamic change. Boom, and then you go like a tippy toe up and then down all the way like halfway. So that gives you range. And then there's like a jolt. So like it's like smooth, and then like sharp. I love that part. It's just because the bass is so prominent there, but it wasn't something that you saw coming, because it's a different, like, it's not just like one. It was like boop boop, boom boom, right? I love it when the body. Ooh. God. I love it when the body or the choreography gives a visual representation of what's happening in the bass, in the instrumentation. Because normally with, of course, you know, choreography is like on the beats, right? Most of the time, or like the lyrics. But when you have like those like tutu, like those kind of moments, it just really enhances the audio experience because we have a visual experience as well. Same case for like when choreographers choreograph to the downbeats of like a song. That's very rare. It's not not a lot of people do it. So it's kind of like there's a movement, but there's like it's not on a heavy beat. It's like on a downbeat. So a downbeat is like, it's very faint. You can't really fully hear it because it's not in the forefront of the instrumentation. But then when you have a visual representation of that, it's emphasized. Those downbeats or like those hidden beats are emphasized. But oh my god, I love this. I love this line here. Boom. Like, look at that. He's also leading with the elbows. It's very structured. So like the imagery in the lines that he's doing is very prominent. The hold there. It's the dancer's responsibility to grab him, because one, his eyes are covered. So he's just gonna reach out, hoping that he would be caught. So it's the dancers. It's basically, he basically has a blind spot. Boom, right? Like he's not looking at all. His eyes are like to the other direction, away from her. So it's a complete trust thing. It's kind of like that idea of like, you know, the trust fall. It's that idea, and I love this extension. So once he establishes that he's grabbed, and that he's well supported by the dancers here, then he can put his weight here so he can like really have that body line, and then he's like pulled in. Timing there is gonna be crucial. Love this part. Oh my god, it's just so balletic. Like, I love his spins. Oh my god, like that one mama performance. You guys know what I'm talking about. That one mama performance. I mean, he has a lot of great mama moments, but like when he did, like, I think it was Mama. There's a lot of award shows. The one where he had a cloth, like his spins there. It reminds me of this. It's so beautiful. I'm glad he has it in here in his title track. It's just so fluid. So those things, they're led from your chest. It's like almost like a pop. It's like a jolt. And then here he's spotting. So you can't just turn. You can't just turn. There's a proper and technical way to properly turn so that those turns will be a lot more effective, or for the very reason that you don't want to get dizzy. So in ballet, you have this thing called spotting. So basically it's like you hold on to a spot with your eyes. You look at a spot, and then you turn your body, turn, and like at the very last minute, you whip your head, and then you go back to that spot. So here he doesn't, of course, look ahead. It's a similar experience, because he's holding his, hold on, like here. So he's holding his gaze in the front, and look, his body is turning, right? His body's turning already. His eyes are still in the same spot. And then at the very last minute, that's when he turns his head, and then he looks back onto the ground. See? Right? He looks back. So he doesn't get dizzy. boom. And then that's when he looks up. There we go. Hey. Woo! It's so smooth and gliding. His turns. I'm a huge fan of turns, if you haven't noticed yet. But like, he just does it so... like a feather. He's like a feather. Love it. It's so like... airy. Hey, love those. Love the hips. Because like, it's kind of... it gets hard a little bit here. Boom. That. And then boom. Just the hips, details. Hey. I feel like this is very 80s, the choreography here. I don't think it's 90s. I'm like thinking my decades, like... I love that. Like, just beautiful lines altogether. Watch me get wrong, because I feel like it's the 80s feel, but watch me be wrong. Sorry, hold on. So controlled. Hey, and then I love that, like, sharp when he needs to, fluid when he needs to. It's like he's singing with his body, you know. There's a like initiation there. It's a very controlled moment. That's how you know, like, he's a very good dancer, because he can do those nuances within those like very kind of simpler movements. It's just in the control, right? Like, look at that. Like, look at the precision in those hips. It's not just hips. It's like an elongated control within the music, of course. But like, he's not just swaying his hips. There's actual like, I don't know, like there's a certain control that these guys do that like makes it so good. Like, filling in every single moment, every second of that choreography. Nice. So I think that's a similar scenario as the one with the girl earlier, but like obviously in a different formation and eye line. He's not completely like, you know, covering his eyes like earlier, but it's the same shape as he's doing, and then boom. So here it's like counterbalancing. Yeah, I think that's the word. Countering his weight. Everybody here, they're the weight to him, and him, so that he can be free with like leaning. Ooh. See, look at those smaller movements, but very, very well controlled. Hey. That moment really reminds me of Michael Jackson. I don't know if I'm like the only one here. Let me know if you guys are getting that vibe there too. I can see Michael Jackson doing that part. Hey. I love the domino effect there. So just a little bit about this part. So there you have different formations, but they're doing the same moves. So just a little bit of a quick info about that when you're learning for like in, you know, as dancers. What normally happens if you have like same movements is like you would all go in front of a mirror and learn the same moves. And then once everybody gets it, that's when you do the formation, and then you position them where they are. And then, okay, you're facing different ways, but do the same move. So as a result, you get this beautiful imagery that's very organized, but like in different formations in different directions. It's very cool. Hey. Jimin's like a ray of sunshine. I just love looking at him. I watched his the video where he was pretending to be a fan. It's so funny. Alright, so yeah, obviously it's not your explosive type of choreography, but if you look very closely, there's a lot of nuances for the movements. There's a lot of control in the fluidity of it. And it's a dance that not a lot of people will do unless you're very detailed in your dancing, or like if you're more on the fluid side, when you can control your body in very like minuscule level. The ones that are very used to, you know, powerful movements, like taming yourselves down might be a little bit of a challenge to get this the way Jimin does it. I feel like it might be a little bit more for people who have very controlled fluidity, basically. But I'll be very curious to see covers, how they do it, because it's gonna be very, very detailed. Like if you miss like a certain kind of like control because this has control like in the shoulders, in the elbows, in the tips of the fingers, in the hips, like it's just all there. And it's also very, you can't hide as well. You see every single detail of the choreography. But before I go, I just want to send a quick congratulations to Jimin. I am so proud of you. I don't know if you're watching reaction videos. I know some idols do. You know, I'm just so proud of Jimin. I'm so proud of Jimin for finally releasing his album. Us fans, we've been anticipating this for a long time, and I'm just proud of like the artist's growth, you know, where he's been, where he is now. It seems very freeing for him. And I just love that for Jimin. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching with me today. I hope that you enjoyed it. And if you did, do like and subscribe. And if you do subscribe, make sure you tick that notification bell so you don't miss any content from me. And if you'd like to get to know more about me, do check out my Instagram, TikTok, and Patreon down below.